It is actually unprecedented. I think the last time somebody was found to have misled Parliament was as far back as 1956, so unknown in modern era, yes.
And so what happens now?
We're going to refer the matter of who misled Parliament to the House of Commons itself, call for the House to endorse our conclusions and make recommendations to the Standards and Privileges Committee to see what should happen. It's a very serious matter, misleading Parliament, and it's really up to the House of Commons to decide what happens next.
And I understand if they had have taken significant action, phone hacking could have stopped as far back as 2007.
Absolutely, certainly. If James Murdoch had seen the opinion from Michael Silverleaf QC, he would have known how widespread the allegations of hacking were at the paper. And it really is amazing, to my mind, that people lower down the company did not kick that knowledge up the chain to allow their superiors to do something about it.
Now, this has ramifications for News Corporation in America, as Colin Myler is the editor of the New York Daily.
Well, he's the editor of the New York Daily News rather than the New York Daily Post, which I don't believe is a News Corporation company, but it will certainly be up to the owners and shareholders of that newspaper what they do now Mr. Myler has been found to have misled Parliament.
Now, one point I know you're very keen to make, there was one finding in the report which was not unanimous, that Rupert Murdoch is unfit to run a multinational company. How do you feel about that?
Yes, I thought that was completely ludicrous, and I'm unfortunately, because my colleague Tom Watson, who's written a negative book attacking the Murdochs, insisted on putting that line in, every Conservative member on the committee actually voted against the whole report. So we were hopelessly divided, and the report will lose a massive amount of credibility. There just was no agreement whatsoever to use words like fit, which equates to sort of fit and proper. That's a judgment for shareholders. I should say that Rupert Murdoch is one of the greatest newspaper men that the world has ever seen, and has brought in an absolute revolution in news coverage, and not in a million years was I going to vote for something that said he wasn't a fit person to run a major national company. So
to make it clear, your committee's remit was purely to determine whether people misled Parliament, which you've done, those three people.
Yes, originally that was the point of this investigation. Was the prior committee misled, and if so, how was it misled? And we've come to conclusions about the three named individuals and News Corporation corporately. But the line about Rupert Murdoch is one that totally divided the committee, and as I say, doesn't really have any credibility.
Would the people that didn't vote on that go as far as to say that perhaps there was some kind of willful blindness there?
No, I don't think so. I mean, this is the whole idea of willful blindness. You have to believe that a guy that's running the major world corporation, that's the head of the world company, somehow should know what goes on in one paper, in one of his territories, in one of his continents. It's so far below his pay grade, if you like, that the idea I found to be absolutely ludicrous, and that's why I voted against it.
So the buck stops with those three employees?
Well, certainly those three people are the only people that the committee has found to have misled Parliament. That's a fact.